Welcome, Magnus here. And why is the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K Pro, long name, better than the Sony FX3? I'm going to give you 5 of the top reasons why it's better in this video coming up. If you're new to my channel, I like to talk about cameras specifically for video, so hit that subscribe button and that like button. Hit that like button and we can reach more people with the information that I've got on my channel, especially training videos I like to do. But anyway, let's get right back to the topic. Here are the top 5 reasons on why I think the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K Pro, oh, that's a lot, is better than the recently announced Sony FX3. So first, let me preface this. I'm not saying that the Blackmagic 6K Pro is a better camera. I'm just saying here are the top 5 reasons on why I think the new Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K Pro is a better camera. Without further ado, here we go. Now, first reason, Sony and Blackmagic each have the Pocket series and the FX3 as the, let's just say, the entry level into their cinema line. You like these lower end models, then you're gonna start to love the higher end models and pay more for it. So it's kind of like an entry point. But the Pocket 6K Pro is the more expensive of their entry line. So they have 3 entry-level cameras right now that are currently relevant. The Pocket 4K, the Pocket 6K, and the Pocket 6K Pro. Sony is really getting into it with the FX3, but the price difference will catch your eye. The Pocket 6K Pro is actually $24.95, so just under $2,500. And that's the more expensive, the latest and most expensive entry level in Blackmagic's end. On Sony's end, their least expensive camera, this entry level camera, is close to $4,000. So that's an over $1,000 difference, like $1,500 difference. So that should mean a lot to you. So that first advantage to Blackmagic is definitely price. All right, second reason. The sensors are definitely different. Sony sensor, Blackmagic sensor, totally different. But the one thing that makes the advantage of the Blackmagic sensor for the Pocket 6K Pro is the fact that it can record 6K video. You have a higher resolution output at up to 50 frames per second on the 6K Pro Blackmagic versus Sony's 4K limitations on the FX3. So that's definitely a win for Blackmagic. And another win for the Blackmagic is that it supports internal recording to RAW format. Now, RAW video is the ability to adjust, for example, white balance and adjust exposure settings in post. Now, you can record that internally with the incredibly efficient and easy to work with Blackmagic RAW. On Sony FX3, you don't particularly have the ability to record internal RAW. You could record RAW externally, from my understanding, via the HDMI to an Atomos Ninja, but at that point you're adding additional costs, and really it's somewhat inconvenient, especially when you want to record RAW run and gun. So that's another win for the Blackmagic Pocket 6K Pro. Number 4, now this is relevant when it comes to shooting in different scenarios with your cinema camera. Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K Pro supports the addition of an optical viewfinder, or an electronic viewfinder basically, that you can actually attach to the top of the camera. And this is very convenient when it's super bright. Not that the LCD isn't really bright, but when it's really, really bright outside, or you just want to look at the footage and see what you're recording and have an extra contact point while you're recording, it's amazing that you can actually attach an extra addition to the top of the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K Pro and actually record. FX3 does not come with a viewfinder, and I don't believe it really has a viewfinder add-on that you can use, only the LCD screen in the back. So that's a disadvantage there for Sony and another win for Blackmagic. And the 5th and final thing that I'd mention in this video is the fact that the Blackmagic Pocket Camera 6K Pro, I've named it so many things at this point, it supports internal NDs. So it already comes with internal NDs, up to 6 stops or maybe more. But the fact that it has that built into the body means that you don't need to carry around different ND filters to clip on the front of your camera to be able to record. It comes with that built-in internally, and that is an amazing feature that many more expensive cinema cameras have, but at the $24.95 price point, it's awesome to have it. And unfortunately, the FX3 does not have it at all for such an expensive price point. Now there's a bunch of other things that I didn't mention that Blackmagic has, but I want to keep this list to 5 of the best ones that I can think of. For example, the 6K Pro also has the ability to record to SSD as well as SD cards in RAW as well as CFast. So you have so many different media choices and inexpensive media choices where you can record RAW. Where the Sony, first of all, you can't record internal RAW, and though it supports SD, it then supports the really expensive and hard to come by CF Express Type A cards, which is great, but unfortunately, it's not as convenient and inexpensive as the Pocket 6K Pro. So there it is. Now, let me be honest, the Sony camera also has a ton of advantage to speak of. 120 frames per second in 4K, superior and in fact great autofocus, full frame sensor, in-body image stabilization, slightly better dynamic range, a flip screen. I mean, those are significant features that are definitely worth it. But is it worth it for $1,500 more? In my opinion, what matters the most is the fact that at the end of the day, you get superior image quality and that you're happy with the footage that you're working with. Sometimes that comes from a sensor that really gives you impeccable and incredible footage and an image all around, and you can work around it. And other times, you just need a camera to do a lot of things for you, which I believe the Sony will be able to do, so that you can get that superior image. So it's really up to you on whether FX3 or the Pocket Cinema Camera 6K Pro is worth it. But those are the top 5 reasons on why I would choose the Pocket 6K Pro. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And as always, you can like, share, and you can make my day if you subscribe today. This is Magnus, and I'm out. Hit that like button. And yeah, I recorded this in RAW on the R5 in 8K. I'm a happy camper at this point.